Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to my weekly update. As you can probably tell from my voice, I have succumbed to the lurgy that so many of you will have, I know, had. And my voice has been struggling on the back of it. And a lot of talking this week and a lot of members that I've been in front of, which has been brilliant. It was so good to be back in Norfolk for a day and a half, and I finished up in Kent yesterday. Quite interesting to hear members' reaction to the border target operating model, which of course kicked off this week, giving the EU the checks that they have not been facing before, that of course we have. So it'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. But it's fair to say, both in Norfolk and Kent, members extremely concerned, frustrated, angry about the situation with blue tongue. Lack of capacity and ability with APHA to be able to deal with this. This has been something we've been flagging for a long time. The shortage of vets is really, really telling. I've written to the Farming Minister, Mark Spencer, asking for an urgent roundtable meeting to bring that together so we can find clarity and a roadmap for those members of what the situation with blue tongue is going to look like. And a lot of concerns now, fears that it will spread as the spring weather arrives and temperatures warm up. And there is no vaccine. There is not going to be a vaccine in place until 2025. So we really need to be preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. But, you know, the situation with AFA, I dread to think what would be happening if we had AI this year, how it was last year. And also in Norfolk and indeed many parts of the country, the situation with flooding is absolutely untenable going forwards. And I know the Environment Agency coming out and doing a lot of on-farm meetings, but on the Broads in Norfolk, you know, there's been water lying there for a very long time. We've got to be able to build on-farm reservoirs to store this water. We've got to be able to, where it's suitable, pay farmers for storing it on floodplains as well. In other news, I mean, I can't not touch on the protests that have been raging across Europe, and huge concerns in Wales on the basically the lack of consultation with the SFS, the Sustainable Farming Scheme. You know, the whole focus for us when we committed to net zero was saying there are some red lines here. And there have to be policies and incentives to make these changes. And it can't happen any other way. There is only one way, and that has to be through a just transition. And I can remember when red diesel subsidy was under threat here, we made the case to the Chancellor. And actually, when he announced the budget in Parliament, he said that he had listened to the NFU and he would not be introducing or axing red diesel subsidy. So this has got to be a just transition. Farmers have got to be the solution and not the problem. And, you know, I think in this country, we feel very fortunate that we have right to freedom of speech and right to peaceful protest. So I have huge sympathy with what is going on in Europe. And we have to have a just transition. We have to incentivize the opportunities, and we are the solution. We are the only solution. But when I see what is going on here with a lot of land being sold for biodiversity net gain, coming out of production, you know, the SFI, as I keep on saying, you know, it is all about growing an environmental crop, not growing a food crop. You know, why can't we be incentivizing protein crops, companion cropping? This has got to be about food security, food production, and the environment. We just keep saying what we've been saying, but we need to see action on it. I think also in the members that I'm meeting, you know, so many growers saying they've never known it worse right now, you know, real challenges with cost of production and retailers and the ongoing retail price war. It hasn't got any easier. So, you know, everything that's going on in the supply chain to make it fairer, to make it more functional, and to make value get back to the farm gate couldn't be more important. But before my voice fails completely, I'm about to do an interview with Alice Thompson from The Times. This is the big interview, so hopefully you'll be able to have a look at that at some stage. But wherever you are, please, as always, take care. And I look forward to speaking to you again next week. Many thanks.